Yes, ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి.
విద్య గారు, ఎవ్రీవేర్ దే విల్ యూస్ జీరా బోర్డ్ ఆర్ అజ్యూర్ డెవాప్స్ అంటే సమ్ కంపెనీస్ అంటే నేను వెళ్ళిన కంపెనీలో అజ్యూర్ డెవాప్స్ యూస్ చేశారు కదా, ఎవ్రీవేర్ దే విల్ యూస్ జీరా బోర్డ్ అంటే ఫర్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్
Azure is
టెస్టింగ్.
different. No.
ఓకే,
Azure అంటే క్లౌడ్
క్లౌడ్ బేస్డ్.
క్లౌడ్ లో సిస్టమ్స్ ఉంటాయి.
సో ఇప్పుడు ప్రెసెంట్ మన పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ టెస్టింగ్ కి జీరానే యూస్ చేస్తారా?
నో. జీరా ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ టెస్టింగ్ అనే కాదు, అది ఎవరైనా యూస్ చేయొచ్చు. ఈవెన్ మాన్యువల్ ఆటోమేషన్,
ఓకే,
యా, ఎనీవన్ కెన్ యూస్. ఎందుకు అంటే జీరా అనేది ఒక టికెటింగ్ టూల్, లేదంటే మన
రిపోర్టింగ్.
టాస్క్ ని ట్రాక్ చేస్తుంది. అంటే లైక్ ఇవాళ ఏం టాస్క్ ఇచ్చారు, ఎంతవరకు కంప్లీట్ అయింది, ఏమైనా ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయా.
ఓకే,
యా. సో నార్మల్లీ వాట్ ఈస్ జీరా, why we have to use the Jira board? Okay, day 4 or 5. Yeah. So why we have to use, the purpose why we will go with Jira. Purpose of Jira board is just to track the status of work. Okay. So for example, we have different type of status, right? So one is like to do. Okay, means still we have not started the work, we have to start the work. Another one is in progress, means the work, whenever we started our work, it will make it as a in progress. Once our work is completed, we will make it as a done. Okay, and once our work was completed and it was make it as a done, it will go to accepted. Once the product owner or the business analyst was accepted, then only we can like done with that particular sprint, or done with our work whatever they have assigned to us. Okay, so for online, I will show you in the real time way. So just try to search Jira board in your system and try to log in with your email ID. No need to do anything. Just try to log in with the Google one, like Google email. Sometimes it will say this type of error. Let's log in with another email. Just search Jira login. Okay, login with Atlassian account. So you can use your Google. Okay, so this is how the Jira board looks like. Once you log in, the Jira will looks like this. Okay, if you see here, you have a projects. So for complete organization, you will have a different type of projects that are available. So normally your manager has to share this Jira link, and your manager has to provide the access for this. Then only you can able to access. Without access, you cannot able to use this. That is the one thing, one important thing I would like to include. And also, once the project is given, he will directly share the project link. And day by day, day to day, you have to update the status. See here. For example, I'm clicking on this project. So this project is given by your manager. Okay, just directly he will share that link. So to open that Jira, you need access. Manager has to give you an access. See here. This is how the Jira board will looks like. So the tasks, whatever the tasks with your name, you can see in the to-do list. Yeah. Normally to do will be in the left side and in progress is in middle. So normally for the Jira, whatever we need to use in offices, so this tool, we do not have any permissions to edit, move, all those things. Just our work related permissions only enabled. Example, this is the work that is assigned by your manager. For example, script creation. Okay. Whenever they assign, here you can see your name. Okay. So actually, my name is here. It is showing as a Vidya. So if your work is assigned, your name you can see here. So once you got the work, whenever you are start doing working, so you can move this to the in progress. So once you move this to in progress, you need to just click on edit. Not for this heading, just you need to open it. And here you can put a comments. For example, started recording some whatever it may be. JPEG store script. Okay. And installed JMeter. So whatever the things, day-to-day activities you have done, you can put it in the form of comments like this. You can save it. So once you save this, that notification will go to the reporter, that is your manager. So that your manager is also understand that yes, your work, you have started doing the work and it is in the progress state. Okay. So for example, your work is completed. You have done all your work. You can just move to the done. Once you move to the done, okay, the manager will understand, okay, out of 4 tasks, 1 task is completed. Something like that he can also understand. And once it was done, it will move to product owner. Okay. The product owner has a different options. One is he can able to accept if the expected like whatever the targets we have, if we are not meeting the expectations, he may be reject also. So those two things will depending upon your work. If you work properly, there is no issues at all, then the work will be accepted. Otherwise, it will be rejected. That is the another important point that I have to include. And for example, this release due to application issues or due to some other issues, okay, you are unable to complete the task. That is not your mistake. That is related to some your teammate or office people or some other people issue. Okay. So at that time, what will happen? You have to make it like move to the next sprint. Here, the options, it is a free one. That is the reason the options was not showing. If we will upgrade it to license, then only we will see it. Those options you can able to see it in your Office Jira board. So it might be accepted, rejected, or sprint rollout. Sprint rollout means we are moving all these tasks to the next release because there is having some application issues. Those issues are not related to you. So in such cases, we will go with sprint rollout. So this is how the Jira board and the purpose. Any questions here for Jira board?
Vidya, if when manager rejects, so we have to do again
Next release.
next release. Okay.
Yes.
It won't come to again to do.
Next release, it will come in to do only.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So every release wise, the board will be keep on updating. So let me share the link. Just try it by yourself also. The next thing, okay. So for example, sometimes you have to create a Jira board directly. Your manager said you have to create it. Just click on create. Okay. So which project you are currently working, you have to select that project code. That will be again given by your manager. Okay. And epic link also given by your manager. Normally here we have to select the epic. Okay. So epic link also it will ask. So that link means that team link, which team we are belongs to. Okay. That link will be given by your manager. You have to give that link and you need to give a summary of the task, whatever you want to do. For example, web tools. Okay, web tools registration. So for example, you want to do this task. So your manager said, please create Jira by yourself. You can just give a summary and description also you can give, like the URL of that web tools, user details, password, and the test case details. All the information you can give it here, step by step. Okay. Once it was done, to whom you need to assign? Yourself, right? So I want to work. That is the reason I have. If you have include any labels, you can give. And when you want to start this particular test, for example, today, and when you want to complete it, your manager given deadline as a some other day. And who is your reporting manager? You can give his name, his or her name. Okay. And is this any blockages or is this any duplicate one? Like, this same process we will follow for defects. For example, while you are doing any testing, okay, you got some issue, you got some defect or you got some issue. Okay. That issue, we can call it as a defect or blocker. Okay. So blocker means what? You're doing some testing, but the application is not working. But your manager said, please complete the task. Please complete the task on or before this day. They have given you some deadline like that. Okay. So at that situation, blocks. Our work is blocking, right? Due to that issue, we will make it as a block. If it is any last previous issue, we can use a duplicate. Okay. So these are the different type of options. Whenever I will explain about defect, I will talk about that. So that is the one thing. And you can also detail which issue it is related to. You need to select it. Okay. And all the things once you give, just you need to create it. Okay. So this is how it will be. The creation of any task or any issue. If you want to create a task means don't select block. Okay. Any questions in this Jira board? Just the basic thing, how to use, how to make the progress. That's it. This is how the real time. And next, if you click on this 6 dots, here you can see the Confluence page. So, what is Confluence page? Why we have to use that Confluence page? Okay. So the purpose of Confluence page is used for to store all the information in one place. Example, I would like to save, okay, some document, or I would like to save some text files. I would like to save some other information. Okay. So if you keep it in your Word, we don't know where it will be stored or it will keep for longer time. But if you use this Jira board, just if you want to use this Confluence page, you can store all your data. For example, your developer is given some KT, okay? So you want to save or you want to keep something here, okay? For example, JPEG store registration KT. He has given this task. Okay, he will explain something about this. So just try to write it down everything, okay? First, navigation steps, something like that. One, click on home page. Click enter the store. Click sign in. Click login. Click log out. Something like that. Okay. So you will get this kind of uh, logins, logouts, all these kind of things, you will get it directly. So once you create it and once you publish it, in case if you are leaving the organization, okay, you are leaving the organization. At the time, no need anything. If you just say or if you just give this URL to that particular developer, okay, to that particular developer or the user. Okay, so he can directly go through this. Okay, these are the things done, this is the progress, this is the pending, these are the steps. Okay, if you want to add any tables also you can add, and if you want to attach any documents also you can attach it here. This is something like a documentation, everything in one place. Any doubts in this conference page? So see, in different companies, the naming we can call it as a different name. Okay, someone can call it as a Jira, someone can call it as a Kanban board. Okay, so for Confluence, we can call it as a document storage, or like Confluence or shared data sharing folder. So we can also have another one that is called SharePoint. You already know that SharePoint means what? Here you can upload all the, for example, you have done some XYZ scripts. Okay. So once you done XYZ scripts, that scripts, if you keep it in your system, okay, maybe we don't know, it may spoil, or it may crash, or it may lose the data. But if you store it in the cloud, it will store for longer time. That is the reason we will use SharePoint. SharePoint. Okay. Clear? Any other questions, doubts? In this SharePoint, Confluence, Jira board. Okay. The other important thing is bug life cycle. Okay, let me show you the image. So bugs means issues. For example, I am logging into the Gmail. Okay. Once I logged in, I am sending some mail to the some persons. But the mail was not sending at all. I am giving correct email IDs and I'm keep on trying to sending. But the data was not sending. At that situation, what we have to do? We need to create a defect in the Jira board. I showed right how to create. That is called the defect. So we have a different defect life cycle. For example, any defect, okay, any issue came to you. Okay, first we will raise the issue, right? So first what we will do, if a defect is come to you, you will raise a defect. Then that is called a status new status. Okay. Once a defect got raised, okay, it is called as a new status. Okay. Once it was raised and assigned to the developer, okay, that particular developer can verify it is a valid defect or not. Okay. If it is a valid defect, then he will try to verify it is a important or not, like it is in scope or not. If it is not a valid defect, okay, if it is not a valid defect, it will be rejected. If it is valid and it is under the scope, okay, then fine. So we can check it is under the scope means now we need to do it. Okay, it was already raised or new one. We will also validate that. For example, if it is not in the scope, then we can call it as a deferred. Okay, the term called deferred. New, open, okay. Once defect is open, we will try to validate the defect and we will validate the scope, and it was already raised or not, we will check it. It is a duplicated one. If it already previously already we have created means we can call it as a duplicated one. Okay. And next, what he will do, once he will verify everything, so it was a new one and it is not the, it was in the scope, everything is good. Then he will check the status. Like he was started working on that particular issue or that particular defect. Okay. So with that particular defect, okay, he will verify. Yes, okay. It was in progress. Once that issue was fixed by the developer, okay, he will again send us for retesting. What we will do? We will check it is passing or failing. If it is passing, then fine. We will close that issue. If it is not passing, then what will happen? We have to again go to the developer and inform him. Still, we are seeing the same issue. Okay. This is how the Jira looks like. In the Jira board, only we have to raise the defect. Any questions in the defect life cycle? Simple. New state. Okay, whenever a defect creates, it is a new state. If you want, just read these steps, the detailed explanation. Once we created the defect, we will assign to the developer. Then the developer will open that and he will try to fix it. Okay, so he will verify all the conditions. Okay, if it is fine, then he will try to test it or fix it, that issue, and he will try to verify it. And also, if issue was not fixed, he will reopen and make it close. And the other important point here, Confluence page I covered, SharePoint I covered, and also we have covered defect life cycle. Okay, and the last one in the basics is defect priority and severity. Okay, what is severity, what is severity, and what is defect priority? So we have a different levels. Okay, P1, comma P2, P3, P4. These are the priorities. Okay, S1, S2, S3. These are the severity levels. Okay, P1 means critical. Okay, P2 means immediate. P3 means medium. Low means I can say high. Critical priority, high priority, medium priority, and low priority. This is also the same. Critical severity, high severity, medium severity, and low severity. These are the priority and severity levels. Okay. So here, what we have to do? I will tell you one real-time example. Okay. So today you have a office meeting at 10 a.m. in the morning. Because client is coming to your office. You need to attend that meeting. It is a mandatory. Okay. But you are at 20th floor. Okay. The lift is not working. At the same time, you have a health issue. Okay. You have a health issue. You are unable to come down by using stairs. You have to use lift. But that lift is not working because it has some issue. And here another thing is you need to go to office, okay, because of client meeting. So this is called high criticality. I mean, very critical priority and critical severity means you need to go to office is mandatory. Okay, that is a priority because we are going to office because of client interview, client call, or else client meeting. So that is the very critical priority. But if you are not going to office, whatever the impact, what is the impact will happen? Definitely it will affect your work, right? That is called severity. Simply I can say how much impact it will be. This is called severity, okay? And coming to priority means mandatory to work on. For example, in application wise, okay, you want to run a test using Chrome browser, okay? You need to show the results by like 2 hours or 3 hours. Within 2-3 hours, you need to submit the results. Same time, Chrome browser is not working. But your client said you need to use only Chrome, don't use other things. So we can call it as a critical priority, critical severity. Okay. For example, you need to do a test, okay, but you have a 1 week time. You can execute it. Meanwhile, you can also resolve that Chrome browser issue. Okay. So that is called high priority, low severity, because we have a time, right? We need to work with the team and we need to make sure to get it complete, that issue, resolve that issue. So this is called as a severity. Any questions here?
No, Vidya.
Okay. So this is how the priority levels and severity levels that we have. Okay. So yeah, I have already covered what is performance testing, engineering, what is the purpose, types, all these basics I have already covered. Just give me a second. So all these things we have already covered. One important thing I would like to include. What type of applications we have to do performance testing? Okay. So in one word, I will tell you. We will do performance testing only for client server application. Okay. Only for client server applications, we will do performance testing. Means client server means simple, two-way communication. Okay. Example, I'm sending something to you. You are receiving and you are sending back some reply to me. Means two-way communication. So such kind of applications only we have to do performance testing. So what application we will not do the performance test? Simply calculator. Okay, calculator is not the client server, right? Next, notepad. It is also not client server. Even Word, Paint, okay, etc. These are all the things that we cannot do the performance testing. Okay. So two-way communication means normally web browsers and also mobile, right? Mobile application, even desktop applications. So all these things we can able to do the performance testing, but for calculators, notepads like Excels, those things we cannot do the performance testing. Okay. And then next, why we have to use the JMeter or load runner? Why we are not using the other tools, like we have like why we are not going with manually? Why we need to అంటే like మాన్యువల్ గా ఎందుకు మన ఓన్ గా అంటే టూల్సే ఎందుకు వాడాలి? టూల్స్ లేకుండా కూడా మనం చేయొచ్చు కదా. వై? సో మీకు ఇక్కడ ఒక 2 ఇమేజెస్ చూపిస్తాను. ఓకే. సో why we have to use the tools? Why means ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక 10,000 యూజర్స్ తో ఒక మొబైల్ కొనాలి. ఓకే, ఇన్ ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్. సో అట్ ద టైమ్ 10,000 యూజర్స్ కి నేను టెస్ట్ చేయాలి అంటే జేమీటర్ లేకుండా, ఓకే, జేమీటర్ లేకుండా 10,000 యూజర్స్ కి నేను టెస్ట్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? 10,000 ఎంప్లాయీస్ ని రిక్రూట్ చేసుకోవాలి. 10,000 ఎంప్లాయీస్ కి స్పేస్ ఇవ్వాలి, ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి ఆఫీస్ లో. అండ్ సిస్టమ్స్ ఇవ్వాలి వాళ్ళందరినీ కోఆర్డినేట్ చేయడానికి ఒక కోఆర్డినేటర్ అంటే ఒక పర్సన్ ఉండాలి. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఎప్పుడైతే ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు 10,000 పీపుల్ ఒకేసారి ఆ మొబైల్ ని కొన్నారు అనుకోండి, ఎగ్జాంపుల్. కొన్న తర్వాత టైమింగ్స్ అన్ని కూడా మనం ఒక్కొక్కరి దగ్గర నుంచి కలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి. కలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని మనం వెరిఫై చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో ఇదంతా కూడా హై కాస్ట్, అంటే చాలా కాస్ట్లీ. అంతమంది ఎంప్లాయీస్ ని రిక్రూట్ చేయడం ఇదంతా కూడా వెరీ హై కాస్ట్లీ అన్నమాట. సో ఇదంతా అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి వి విల్ యూస్ జేమీటర్ ఆర్ లోడ్ రన్నర్ టూల్స్. ఓకే, వై వీ హ్యావ్ టు గో విత్ దట్ మీన్స్ ఆ 10,000 పీపుల్ చేసే వర్క్ ఒక్క టూల్ తో ఒక్క పర్సనే చేయొచ్చు. అండ్ అనదర్ డిసడ్వాంటేజ్, ఇప్పుడు టూల్ యూస్ చేయకపోతే డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే క్లయింట్ కి ఇప్పుడు 10,000 యూజర్స్ వర్క్ ఉంది. ఒకవేళ 5,000 ఉంటే మళ్ళీ ఆ 5,000 ఎంప్లాయీస్ ని మనం రిలీవ్ చేసేయాలి, రైట్? ఆ 5,000 ఎంప్లాయీస్ కూడా వేస్ట్ అయిపోతారు రిక్రూట్ చేసుకొని. సో అలాంటి డ్రాబ్యాక్స్ అనేవి ఉంటాయి. అదే టూల్ యూస్ చేస్తే అవసరం లేదు. ఆ టూలే 10 అయితే 10,000, 5,000 అయితే 5, ఎన్ని కావాలంటే అన్ని మనకు ఎలా కావాలంటే అలా ఆ టూలే ఆటోమేట్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, అండ్ ఆటోమేట్ చేయడమే కాకుండా మనకు రిజల్ట్స్ కూడా అదే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తుంది. అండ్ అదర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్, ఇప్పుడు మనం ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ లో ప్రోడక్ట్ కొనాలి అంటే రియల్ గా యూజర్ కావాలి. కానీ ఈ టూల్లో ఏంటంటే మనం డమ్మీ యూజర్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసి యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. దానివల్ల అప్లికేషన్ కి ఏమి కూడా ఎఫెక్ట్ అనేది అవ్వదు. అదొక గుడ్ అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఇది విత్ దిస్ టూల్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ టూల్స్ యూసేజ్. సో పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ టెస్టింగ్ టర్మినాలజీస్ ఉంది. సో ఈ టర్మినాలజీస్ అన్ని కూడా మనకి టెస్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్స్ అప్పుడు వస్తాయి. సో ఐ విల్ షేర్ దిస్ వీడియో టుడే ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. ఓకే, ప్లీజ్ గో త్రూ వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ గెట్ ఎ ఫ్రీ టైం. ఆల్ ద టర్మ్, అసలు యూజర్ అంటే ఏంది, రెస్పాన్స్ టైం, రిక్వెస్ట్, ట్రాన్సాక్షన్, ఇదంతా కూడా నేను మీకు ఒక వీడియో ఇస్తాను. ప్లీజ్ గో త్రూ ఇట్. మీకు ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నా అడగండి. బికాస్ ఈ టర్మినాలజీస్ జస్ట్ ట్రై టు రిమెంబర్ ద టర్మ్స్. అసలు థింక్ టైం అనేది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి మీరు. థింక్ టైం, బేసిక్, ఇవన్నీ మనం మన డే టు డే యాక్టివిటీస్ లో రెగ్యులర్ గా ప్రాక్టికల్ గా యూస్ చేస్తాము. నేను ఇవన్నీ చెప్తాను కమింగ్ క్లాసెస్ లో. బట్ ఫర్ నౌ మీరు జస్ట్ అసలు ఆ టర్మ్ యూసేజ్ అనేది తెలుసుకోవాలి. క్లియర్? Okay, so I'm ending the class. Please go through this all the video, whatever I will share it today class. Tomorrow class నుంచి మనం మాడ్యూల్ 1 స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. మాడ్యూల్ 1 లో ఏంటంటే అసలు పిఓసి అంటే ఏంటి, ఎన్ఎఫ్ఆర్ అంటే ఏంటి, అసలు ఒక కొత్త ప్రాజెక్ట్ మన దగ్గరకు వచ్చింది, మనం ఏం చేయాలి, ఇవన్నీ కూడా చూద్దాం. క్లియర్?
సరే, ఓకే.
ఒకవేళ మీకు ఏం క్వశ్చన్స్, డౌట్స్ లేవు అంటే వీ కెన్ ఎండ్ ద క్లాస్.
విద్య, ఇప్పుడు జేమీటర్ లా మనము డమ్మీ యూజర్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలంటే ఇప్పుడు 10,000 రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఉంటే 10,000 డమ్మీ యూజర్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలా మేడం?
క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం.
ఓకే,
క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు, ఆర్ ఎల్స్ మన క్లయింట్ అయినా ఇస్తాడు. అవి మనకు డిఫరెంట్ వేస్ ఉంటాయి, మనం చూద్దాం.
ఓకే.
అంటే లైక్ నేను మీకు క్లాసెస్ లో ఎప్పుడైతే జేమీటర్ ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ ఇదంతా స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందో అప్పుడు నేను మీకు డీటెయిల్ గా ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఇస్తాను ఎలా చేయాలి ఏంటి అని.
ఓకే.
ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
ఎస్. ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్, క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? ఓకే, థ్యాంక్స్ ఎవ్రీవన్ ఫర్ జాయినింగ్ ద క్లాస్. నేను ఈ వీడియో షేర్ చేస్తాను. అండ్ ఫైనల్లీ నాకు ఒకసారి గ్రూప్ లో ఎవ్రీవన్ మెయిల్ ఐడీస్ పెట్టండి.